Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro?
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Hurts sets up to throw it. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So opening drive, 3rd down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on 3rd down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
And he takes it all the way down to the 3. 47 yards rushing for him here. What a start to the ball game. It's 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jalen Hurts with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Eagles put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now Jackson on 2nd down. Finds his man, it's John Mechie. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. Here's Jackson to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Jackson on 1st down. Looking deep downfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Second down, back to Sanders. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 62 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Play action. Here's Hurts. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this 1st half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Now a 1st carry here for Robinson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence Some fortitude and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Man open is Robinson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready.
As Sanders has it poked free. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Jackson. That's going to be caught. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Robinson, and he is going to lose yardage here. Back at the 2 now, here's 2nd and goal. Robinson again. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going to play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Touchdown, Texans. Trenton Cannon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from drawing level. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the 10. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 92 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
2nd and 16. Here's Hurts to throw. But it's caught. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Texans scoop it. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From the 10. And he returns this to the 22. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watkins. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 78 yards. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott good with a PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From his end zone, here's Tremont Smith. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we'll see what they want to do. 45 seconds is all that remains until the break. A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And oh, he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Finding space at the 40. A big play there just before halftime. And even 40 yards. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And some room to work. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Touchdown! In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Yeah, and that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their halftime lead now evaporated. We're back to level following that touchdown a moment ago.
And that shouldn't change the mindset a whole lot from an offensive perspective because they already knew this was going to be a hard-fought game. Now they just need to go out, execute their game plan, and keep moving.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Throwing is Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. He's going to have the first down and then some. 101 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Ready?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Hurts. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. On the counter now, it's Sanders. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Hurts. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to hold that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. This to break our 4th quarter tie. The kick by Elliott is good. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Tackle by Avonte Maddox.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Back to Cannon again on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going. Let's go.
Quickly out wide to Mechie. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Repeat of the last play, going to Mechie here. And he's got Rome. Touchdown, Houston.
This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it, we got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They go play action with Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That was all well. The defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
He's going deep for Brown. And got his man, complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd and 15 now. Hurts. Sanders has it over the middle. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game. In motion left goes Smith. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Texans defense stands tall. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And this game not quite over yet. We'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all of their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
19 Check.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
I have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And they do finally get him at the 12. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Obviously, Charles, such an important, well-executed touchdown, and that caps off what has been a strong second half. Remember, they trailed at halftime.
And how about the
oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and 1. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans are going to win the football game.
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Nico Collins.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans tack on another score as they have dominated this fourth quarter.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up.